Did you see what I just did there? Now, if I succeeded, which I haven't, most definitely, I've made you feel a little uneasy. And if I failed, well, I made you think that I'm an autistic piece of shit, which, let's be honest, with my lighting here, I've probably succeeded with the second one, obviously. So that's what I want to talk about today. Writing and how to make people kind of feel, spooked out a bit, creeped out a little. You see, there is a really, really tiny line between spooky and goofy. Now, it depends on what you want for your story. Maybe you want a spooky story that's a bit on the goofy side, or maybe you want to take yourself seriously and actually write something that's horrific. So, the most important thing here, let me just say this first. I am not a professional writer. I just love writing for fun at times, and I just write for myself and send it to a bunch of my buddies and stuff. So that's literally all I do. I've never studied it professionally. I don't have a degree on it or anything. I don't have a degree on anything yet. And I've just learned stuff through the internet and through watching stuff and different kinds of content. So that's just all my own ideas, my thoughts, okay? It's not based on anything, so don't take it too seriously, okay? This is just through my experiences with different kinds of content. And I love horror. Recently, actually, I hated horror as a kid, obviously. Many kids do despise horror as a child. But nowadays, I started to enjoy it with Creepcast. It's a fantastic podcast. If you don't know, you should definitely check it out. It's really great. But through that, I kind of got into writing horrific things for myself as well. With that, I got inspired in a way to write. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I'm still sick, by the way. If you've seen the previous video, yeah, I'm still sick. Living is tough. Living is incredibly tough. Fuck living. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yes, uneasiness. So, for writing horror, you need build-up. You need characters that people could like and give a shit about. That's the most important part, right? And by the way, I'm not just going to be talking about this subject, because that would literally be in 30 minutes, it would be over. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things as well. For writing horror, it's really important that you actually know that your audience, they have brains. They can think, they can imagine things themselves, they can come up with things themselves, and they're smart, probably smarter than you are. Always remember that. So you cannot easily trick them and have it to be something that's satisfying for the audience. This is especially important for horror, because if you take yourself seriously but you dumb things down, people are not gonna care or like what you're doing there. You know what I mean? You want there to be mystery. You want there to be, what's the fucking word for it? Stakes. Beef. You want there to be beef. Beefy, juicy beef. And that's important. Fuck the sickness, man. I shouldn't record while I'm sick. So, never forget that, because if you fuck that up, then you fall into the goofy part. And there's also another part, which is you're just boring. That's also true. You could just be fucking boring. You're not even goofy, and you're not even scary. So you're just not... Fuck you. That's what you are. You're just boring as fuck, Screw you, You make, that's the thing I always say to myself, is that in writing, if you are successful to avoid 3 emotions that the audience could have, you won, no matter what. One of the emotions is being bored. You fucked up. If they're bored, they probably don't want to read through your fucking thingy. They don't want to watch it. They don't want to play it if it's a video game or whatever. you just make something that's boring and no one would really want to power through or, just go through it at all. Number 2, dissatisfied. That happens when they actually did spend time, but they just think it wasn't worth it. They'll probably say to themselves, man, fuck, I just wasted so much time on this. Same thing that I did with Assassin's Creed Unity. And they're just like, fuck me, man. I just wasted my life. It's over. I'm dead. It's done, And then you got hollow. Neither of us want to see you go hollow. That's a horrible impression. I'm so sorry I just did that. But yeah, just when you get to the hollow point, they feel empty. They don't feel dissatisfied. They don't feel bored. They feel like a psychopath that just wants to kill you. And if you ever touch a pen again in any sort of form, if it's an electronic pen, if it's an actual pen, they will commit war crimes on you. So don't make them feel hollow. That's important. Now, other emotions are okay if they don't laugh with you but at you, you still won. They bought the thing. See? They bought it and they laughed at it, which means they kinda liked it by hating it. It's weird, but it makes sense if you think about it in a way. So if you make them feel cringe, you won. If you make them feel happy, satisfied, you definitely won, obviously. Just make them feel anything. If you don't make them feel at all about like your story, about your characters, about the events that's happening, you fucked up. You fucked up big time. Remember, you need to let things simmer. This is probably a thing I'm just doing for myself, just to a reminder that I should not fuck up when I write stuff. That's probably it. But yeah, let things simmer a bit. You don't want to serve them uncooked soup. That's just how it is, and by soup I mean a good story. It's a story, and uncooked is bad. You get it? So yeah, that's one of the other things I wanted to talk about. And the other thing, you see, I talk a lot to myself, and I was like, you know what? Let's just record it. I can just sit all of this on the toilet while I was taking a fat shit. So this is one other thought that came to my mind for absolutely no fucking reason, and it was that if an actor makes you hate them so fucking much, they've done good. They've done really fucking good. Look at Skylar or Lori, AMC shows, or should I say Lori, the fucking AMC stuff. If you watch those shows, you probably don't like them. At minimum, and at maximum, you want to kill them. You want, even maybe the actresses or the actors, it's a bit brain dead to want to do that actually in real life stuff, but it's true. Some people are just that crazy. We can talk about Laura Bailey with Abby for The Last of Us Part 2, which, Jesus fucking Christ, it was insane. The amount of death threats, which is just, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's not like she wrote it. It's not like she even made it. She was just an actor taking part in this project. And even if it was her project, it's hers. I mean, it's Neil Druckmann, but still, you know what I mean? Like, they wanted to tell this story. You have the only right you have is to either like it or not like it. That's it. You cannot be like, I hate this so much that I'm gonna fucking commit murder on you, your family, your pets, all of that, dude. I'm gonna do some bad things. You're fucked. Why? Think for a second. That doesn't make any sense. You're stupid. You're just a child at that point, okay? What the fuck is wrong with you? Huh? Look at yourself in the mirror. Get a job, pussy. Anyways, yeah. I think that's all the things I yapped. And the thing that hurts most is that I yap these things to myself with detail, and they're really cohesive. But when I come here and just talk through with the camera, I just cut them down. That kind of hurts at times. Okay, I think I just came up with something else we can talk about. Ludonarrative dissonance, I think is what's called, which is the stuff that's happening doesn't really make sense with the other stuff that's happening, you know? You don't want that for your story. Let's just put it that way. Like, you cannot have a scene of your characters killing 1,000 dudes or girls, you know? And then the next scene is just them just having fun, goofing off a bit, joking, talking about the good old days. Like, you're a killer. I have to go.